Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing something that isn't necessarily new, but I guess I'm going back and I'm revisiting some things that I really find fascinating, or very good value. And this is a really good example. The new-ish RX-S601 from Yamaha. This is a little slimline home theatre amplifier. It's cheap, it's really cheap actually. 5.1, basic amenities, basic inputs and outputs. But because it's part of the MusicCast architecture, it can be added really cheaply and easily to people with music around their home, or as a standalone stereo system for a couple of zones, and that's a key feature. The 5 speakers can be configured into a 3 in one room and 2 in a separate zone, or maybe just 2 stereos if required. And that's actually why I'm so proud to unbox this today, because I kind of want to share some of these quirky sort of features that Yamaha have added into a pretty damn cheap product. Okay, so let's start. What are we looking at? It's a junior product. It's not very deep, it's not very big, in fact it's not very heavy. I guess that's not really the point. This product is feature packed. It's designed to run small speakers and run them really well. It's got great video and great audio processing on board, and it's going to do a very good job of home theatre. Like most in its category, it's part of the MusicCast architecture, as I mentioned. It's going to have a Y-Power mic setup, it's going to have some key things. It will support Spotify, Pandora and Deezer, but also Tidal streaming as well, and that's all part of the software updates that are available for these. The box itself, it's two-tone. Most Yamaha boxes are a little bit more muted than this. This one has a blue flare to it. So, you know, I guess they've sort of added a bit of colour for whatever reason. As far as its information, it's printed on all sides. On the top of the box there's a lot of compliance relating to all manner of things that you can connect. Probably most of it relates to iPads and iPods and things. It has model and serial number information on just one end. Opening this is really easy. It's sealed with basic pack and tape. The process is straightforward. You'll see how I nick and then pull this to ensure that the knife doesn't have to be dragged across the top and potentially damage something inside. Opening it, it's easy. It's a basic box. Have a look. Very well appointed from a packaging and accessory perspective. The first thing I'm grabbing is its basic FM aerial. This model is AM and FM. AM is sort of slipping away internationally, so it's good to see for the New Zealand market that we've got an AM aerial still in the box. Nevertheless, there's the FM one. In here, we've got the AM aerial. We've got a user manual and other basic information and a warranty card. The more in-depth user manual is actually on a CD-ROM. It allows sort of a network link perhaps to be made and some updates and changes to be made on the fly if Yamaha requires. There's some AAA batteries for the remote control, and there's Yamaha's Y-Power microphone setup. This thing obviously allows for all manner of different tweaking and tuning. It's great to see even this very budget home theatre amplifier has this feature. The remote control itself is actually really well appointed. Relatively basic in the grand scheme of things, because this product can be controlled from an amp. There's actually 2 that Yamaha produce, one for MusicCast and one for their AV control. And these things are software updated all the time, so it shows that Yamaha is making sure that they are working hard to keep things current. Okay, nice little remote, basic functionality, laid out really easily by the way. Okay, packaging, good, solid, thick polystyrene. It means carriers and other things like that could be a little bit rougher than perhaps they should, and it's still going to arrive to you in one piece. The product, as I mentioned, isn't particularly heavy. It's not designed to be, and so getting in and getting rid of the last of that box is really easy. This bubble paper, this sort of man-made protective paper, smooth on one side and soft on the inside, is really easy to remove with a simple nick, revealing the amplifier for the first time. Now, no points for guessing this isn't particularly big or particularly deep. It's not designed to be. This is a slimline product, and ideal for people that perhaps want to add surround sound for their set-top box or Blu-ray player, something like that, where it's already kind of taking up a little bit of space and there's not a lot more there. Anyway, looking at this product, like all Yamaha theatre amplifiers, on one side is the input and on the other side is the volume. So we're going to start on this side with the input. Being slimline, some of the buttons that we might have seen in other models sort of configured a little bit differently. It's sort of squished a little bit because it doesn't have the ability to sort of have it across a big front fascia. Nevertheless, input control, it's a jog control. You've got the ability to control its zones along the top here, flicking between the main and second zone. Main power, a 6 1/4 headphone output with silent cinema, so should you plug in a traditional pair of stereo headphones, Yamaha processing will actually give a pretty good illusion of surround sound from even a pair of headphones, and great to see that from such a budget model. The next mic input is clearly labelled as YPAO, Y-P-A-O. That is specifically to the microphone, and it's not a karaoke or anything like that. You've got here a straight button. This allows you to change between the surround sound effects and a straight or direct mode, and pushing and holding goes into its Wi-Fi connection mode. Program left and right relates to the surround sound programs of this amplifier, the DSP fields that Yamaha is renowned for, all the way from ProLogic and Dolby Digital and DTS and Master, and all of those things are on board. Beside it you've got 4 scene buttons. Now these are global presets, and like many of the bigger home theatre amplifiers, it gives you the ability at one button press to take control over many connected devices via HDMI, and also select DSP fields and inputs at one button press. This is very useful because you can overwrite the preset memories for any number of different things. It's very cool, like turn off the subwoofer at the press of a button, that kind of thing. Further along is a 3.5mm auxiliary input. This is quite common nowadays with people using a lot of portable devices and iPods and phones as a source. There's a USB. Now this is designed not only as a 5V 1A, so it's a low amperage, it's not going to charge your iPad, but it's also a digital input to stream off Android devices and iPods and iPads. So it will be seen as like an external hard drive or something like that. It's very cool. Then finally, over the side you've got the main rotary encoder for volume. This one has a good look and feel. It's a bit plasticky, I guess, compared with some of the larger theatre amplifiers. But again, at this price point, the build is very, very good. Above it, network logo and then the direct button. This allows us to change, and again, it goes direct to the surround sound or other things. Shutting things down is required. Leaning it forward, you'll see how well ventilated the product is, and it's got a very large power supply for something of this physical size. The power supply is off to one side, and then there's large heat sinks internally for its amplification stages. This is a 5.1 amplifier, and they haven't, despite its size, scrimped on its overall wattage. It's got enough power to drive all sorts of things. Looking at its side, again, it's not very deep, and this is a great problem solver if you strike a cabinet or a shelf that you really need to hit a certain depth, or run out of room and need the additional flex from an HDMI or something. Looking at the rear, this product for its size is brilliantly well appointed. I'm going to start right here with its Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antenna. This will operate direct connected to a phone. It'll run on your Wi-Fi and obviously Bluetooth. If you get the opportunity though, please run a network cable. The socket beside it is there ready for it. The network cable will allow for far greater flex as well. It's faster and more stable to run a network cable than running Wi-Fi. You don't have to mess around with passwords and things as well. Along the top row is a surprising number of HDMI inputs. For something of this physical size, it really is brilliant to see such a great number of HDMI inputs. There's a single output over here, and it is 4K HDMI 2.2 compliant. There's a couple of coaxial digital inputs and an optical digital input, and beside it is some legacy composite video. Now, if I understand correctly, this is a composite switch. So, if you've got an old product, a Wii console, something with only composite video output, you're going to run a separate composite video to the TV. Don't quote me on it, but I don't think it has composite to HDMI up conversion. There's a couple of analog inputs, and that's really all it kind of needs, because the streaming functions and the ability to play music off computers, directly off phones, all of these things means that traditional analog inputs aren't necessarily required. And this is where they have made some compromises in the inputs and outputs, but again, very well appointed for its price. It's a single subwoofer output, and above that you've got your AM, FM tuners. This model is 5 binding posts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you see, and please hang around for some of the photographs that I'll take of this product, for some close-ups of this area, you'll see the way it's been broken down into this pair, enabling us to do an extra speaker setup. And in this on-screen display, it enables us to label and change these as required. So it will run as either a 5.1 home theatre, or as a 2-zone stereo, or even as a 3.1 in one area and the 2 speakers elsewhere. This is ideal as an add-on to Yamaha's MusicCast system, or as a standalone 2-zone stereo system. So this is one of my little favourites. It's unboxed today because I enjoy it and I like it, and really is, it's bloody good value. Okay, so there we go. Unboxed here at the Listening Post Christchurch, New Zealand, is Yamaha's RX-S601 slimline home theatre receiver from Yamaha. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.